Happy Star Wars Day to you.
I hope we're not talking again. It sounds like it is on our end.
May the fourth be with you. See that? May the fourth be with you. Because May the fourth.
You're hilarious.
I know. So, how is everybody doing today? Good morning, Jeff. I've heard from our friend Red Luna. So, I'm going to try calling again. State voicemail. There's a crazy rate.
No, don't do that, you guys.
Yeah, do it.
Don't
Do it. Happy Father's Day. So, I went to have a shower today. I don't have batteries that are charged. Water heater. So just came up for water.
have batteries on.
I sound mumbled again. Look at Facebook. It's funny because our signal shows perfection. Absolute perfection.
Good morning, Debbie and
So
Julie.
what's happening right now is Facebook is overriding us because apparently Call Me Canada is not a thing you can say. Sorry, it's true.
Not a thing you should say in my house after.
And on this
Either.
episode of Dad Fun, we shall cover Star Wars. That is very true.
Don't encourage him, please.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So today we have a special guest.
Good morning, Glenda.
We have a pineapple plant, and it's growing. And I'm going to show you the pineapple plant. So here it is, big and heavy. But take a look at this. Look at it. That's the pineapple right there. You see
How
the
big
top.
it is?
Show in your hand.
It's really big.
It's just
Really
a
friggin'
teeny,
prickly.
tiny
Get it out. Get it out.
pineapple plant.
Good morning.
Our speakers are not covered. I know yesterday people were saying that, our microphone and stuff, guys, we have top of the line stuff, video cameras. I mean, that's why our video is amazing, our audio amazing. It's just that we're being blocked from Facebook. Okay, she's saying it's better now.
We're not being blocked from Facebook. There's something else going on. Facebook is not doing it, or they wouldn't just muffle us.
Oh, they might muffle us.
You're
So the other day, Christie said to me, I'm going to put a sock in your mouth with my fist in it. That was not funny.
I'm still considering it.
That was not funny. So it says, ooh, better now. There we go. So what can we tell these fine folks? Sounds good on YouTube now. Thank you, Leslie. What can we tell these folks?
That my husband's insane.
A little. I'm watching on YouTube. Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
Yes, we know where you're coming from.
It does tell us that you're watching Leslie on YouTube, Donna on YouTube.
Marie
Leslie.
on Elements.
Yeah.
Debbie and Julie on mine.
Facebook. Yeah.
Jeff was on. Yeah. That's
It's
a pretty dress.
dress.
Thank you.
It is. And I believe that's hand painted and glitter. It's glitter to no end. It's like it's all bedazzled.
It's like my face.
Yeah, that's true. So today I have no idea what we're going to chat about because there's not a lot going on right now. We were going to have somebody come here on the 10th to buy a big house. And they've decided, let's just put this on pause. Shady peeps on Facebook can't see me here.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are shady peeps on
very
Facebook.
True. And show the beautiful weather YouTube here too. 49ers recap of draft. Trey Lance. We have
Oops.
zero sports in us. Unless you call beach sitting a sport.
I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I'm trying not to.
But the weather, oh my gosh, is totally perfect.
Yes.
Blue sky. It is a stunning, stunning day in Mexico. So for us, fortunately, we get to stay here and not have snow. I have seen, and I mean this sincerely, maybe 5 seconds of hail in Bucerias. That's it. But we've been down.
Oh, yeah. We've not. Really.
Yeah, that's it. 5 seconds. And that's in 17 and a half years. So that's pretty good odds, I think. And I think the coldest we've ever experienced is maybe 10 Celsius. Maybe. But the Mexicans, they wear winter parkas when it's 10, like we do in minus 20 in Canada. Like they're cold. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I get cold now. Mm-hmm. Now I am very cold. Okay, Leslie's got a question. And Marie says, then show us.
Oh, geckos?
Donna, yeah, yes. We get geckos in the house.
And that's good because they eat the bugs.
It is very true. If you don't see geckos, you've got a problem. So Leslie, we've got answers. Ask us the question.
It must be a long question. She's typing and typing.
Marie says, show us the beach. We can't. I mean, we will at some point when we're at the beach, but we're not at the beach right now. I guess I could go to the third floor and show you the ocean.
Yeah, it's not the same.
As Canadians been gone from Canada so long, do you still pay taxes every year for Canada? No. Completely expatriated.
No taxes, but no benefits. We don't make any money. We don't have any bank accounts, credit cards, nothing from Canada. Everything that we have is here in Mexico.
And we do not have to use the healthcare system in Canada because really, compared to Mexico, it sucks. Oh my gosh. Like we have one of the best healthcare systems in the world here. I mean, you pay for it. But you don't have your great-grandchildren pay for it like in Canada because the healthcare that you get today, you do not pay for. Your great-grandchildren will pay for that. It sucks. And I mean, once you understand that there's a tomorrow and our heirs pick up the slack that we dropped, that's a bothersome thing. So I do like pay-as-you-go. Pay-as-you-go just kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, I'm looking out my window. Guys, I wish I could show you how pretty it was. Because the moringas that I planted, we cut at 6 feet, and they've kind of grown bushier. And it just looks stunning out there.
I discovered something very sad this morning.
What? Oh, your coffee.
I'm almost out of my Oaxaca coffee.
I'm sorry. You probably should have bought more. And I mean, we had full suitcases full of coffee.
We bought 10 kilos. 10 kilos of coffee.
The guys coming back are like, what drugs are you hiding?
Exactly.
If you're bringing coffee, you got drugs, especially this much coffee. And then when we got home, we freezer packed it.
Yeah, we put them in little freezer bag. Well, like air.
The Ziplocs. The fancy Ziplocs that you suck the air out of.
The sealer. What are they called?
Who knows what
the hell the ones they suck the air out.
Yeah, they suck. The air sucker outers. That's what I just said.
CCP or OAS, nothing. I do believe we get those because we are still Canadian. But for me personally, my work amount that I got paid for and and had taxes taken off was very limited because we were young, we got married, we started having kids, and we made the decision to stay home with our kids. And so I did not work for all of those many years. I didn't start working until we moved back to Mexico. I took care of the kids. We homeschooled, all those kinds of things. John worked. Mm-hmm. And then we started our own business and we did markets and stuff like that. So farmers markets, yeah. Mm-hmm. So and we made jewelry and sold those kinds of things and loved it. We did it with our kids. It was a wonderful experience. It taught our kids a lot about money and work, and you don't eat unless you work, and all those kinds of fun things. So it was a very good experience for us all.
Because if they didn't work,
yep. Thank you, ladies.
If they didn't work, we didn't feed them. We taught them that.
Yeah, and they were 3.
You get no food.
JK. So we are not going to be able to live on our retirement income. So we are building our business so it supports us.
Woot. Yeah, and I don't. The government is not trustworthy.
Yeah, and there are certain things that you, as a Canadian, you are entitled to. And technically, if we wanted to fight the healthcare, we could. I think you just have to be back in Canada for 3 months or something, and then
we have a friend of ours. He needed to have his heart operated on, and Canadian, but he married an American, was in the U.S. It's going to be over $300,000 to operate on his heart. He got it done here in Mexico for $40,000, and amazing, absolutely amazing. Although he thought he was a child again, and he went skiing, smashed his head, and it's terrible. But
He's
he's
still alive.
he's still alive, doing fantastic. So lucky, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's a blessed man.
And, and also on that note about the CCP, et cetera, we, John worked a short time. We moved here when he was 35. So
33. You were
33.
35.
I was 35. Robin, you're asking, so you maintain a Canadian bank account,
No.
auto deposit from CRA. No, we do not have a Canadian bank account. So we may never get that money. We're okay with it.
Yeah, the idea, I mean, right now is a good time to take from Canada. Canada is on a free fall right now.
There's nothing left to take.
Yeah, it's just right now, whatever benefits you can get them and get the hell out. So yesterday we got a fascinating email from somebody who checked our show yesterday, and she's done in Canada. She's moving to Mexico. She's had it.
She has had it like a lot of other people have had it. Good morning, Karina, and congratulations again, my newly married friend.
My job is to save as many Canadians as possible.
And Julie is saying that is a great way to raise kids. No regrets when we brought the kids down for 4 months a year, 5 years in a row. Learn to love and value a different culture. Absolutely. The hardest thing was when my kids went back for the first time, and they'd lived a different life than all their friends who they thought were besties forever, et cetera, et cetera. They have maintained friendships of kids they met here. Mind you, again, they were older. But yeah, it was hard for them to go back, and their friends were like, oh, this boy and this, I want this car and stuff like that. And my kids were kind of like, well, there's people in Mexico that don't have paved floor or like cemented floors, right? They're just dirt. It was, so they learned living here and meeting the kids, and living in the town, not in, a gated community or anything like that. And no offense to anybody that does that, but for us to make this transition as a lifestyle, we had to make sure we did what we could, for our kids to make sure that they really got integrated. Yeah. And they did. They absolutely did. Yeah. And Julie says her kids still have friends down here. And Leslie, I agree. It is very materialistic up there. And capitalism, well, we're business owners,
yeah,
so we're okay with capitalism, but it's the materialism that is tough. And I mean, I'm not against buying stuff, as you can tell.
She's not.
But it doesn't consume me.
No.
Unless I'm visiting the States and I only have a few days, and then it's all consuming.
Now, the rotten part, I think, for our kids was they weren't really Mexican. So they didn't kind of always fit in. I mean, they were always, but they weren't really Canadian either. So they were kind of like these floating things.
They were Mexicanadians.
Mexicanadians. It's a very small subset.
but they did well. They learned the language.
They've crushed their jobs up there.
I like to buy hobby stuff. I'm not a hobbyist. I like to buy decorative stuff, and I'm not a decorator either. So.
You should get a hobby. My God, you need a hobby. That's why I got the still.
That's going to be my hobby.
Yeah, you'll be. So when we had the jewelry business,
official taste tester,
the kids and I would be busting our butts making stuff, and she'd
be like,
long
nails. I couldn't.
She'd be like, I'm more product testing. That's what I do.
Quality control.
So I don't do that, and I used to be able to tie knots in my sleep.
Our kids too. Like it was rapid fire, but I couldn't. I've always had long nails. There was a short bit of time where I didn't have them because I developed an allergic reaction to acrylic. So these are gel, and I have to get a very specific gel. And if you see this redness here, I did my nails yesterday, and I overfiled with the Dremel.
I love this.
It's a little stingy.
Donna says you were the retail supervisor.
Hobby drinking, see?
Yeah.
I got a hobby.
The international travel and interaction opens people's eyes up to the depths and nuances of different cultures. Yes.
Well, it is. I mean, all my kids knew really was Central Alberta because we lived in Edmonton, then we moved to Sylvan Lake. that was their whole life. That was their experience. We never traveled because we couldn't afford it, because we made the decision for me to stay home. So we weren't bringing in a second income. And I couldn't really, I tried doing, Tupperware and those kinds of things, but having 4 young kids and trying to homeschool them, it's pretty much pretty time consuming.
Well, we had our kids really young. I mean, there really was no way for us to do much just because we had our kids right away.
Right. And so John worked, and he worked good jobs. I mean, he got on with Costco when Zach was just before he was born.
Yeah, before he was born. Yeah.
And
Costco was a great place.
And we have friends from Costco, Jeff, and a few other people that check in with us once in a while, that we've maintained friendships or recultivated some of them. Sure. We didn't maintain them necessarily.
And I only worked for Costco for nine years and a bit. What?
Oh, I just wasn't sure what that was. It looked funky. It wasn't a hair.
Oh my gosh, what is it? Yeah. So it is, we don't have a lot of money in Canada. And even then.
No, we have no money in Canada.
Well, in the RRSP. So This is funny. I have to tell you this.
That's right. We have that.
So I had put like $6,000 into an RRSP, that Sun Life. And I've right now haven't even doubled that money after 20 years. Well, I've not
More
been
than
in
20
Costco
years.
17, 5, 22, 23 years. So whatever money you have in Sun Life, understand, they're making money. Making lots of money.
It's a pittance of what we're getting. So yeah, so we might be able to do a trip. Maybe we should get it transferred into Canada next time we go.
Maybe. They said that they can take it out because I'm not in the country anymore. But I need to get Canada's permission to do that.
They'll probably tax you.
Donna
half
says
of it.
Costco Canada versus Mexico. What's the biggest difference? The pay.
Yeah.
This was,
mind you, I don't think
Costco
Canada or Canadian Costco's get paid as well as they used to either, comparatively speaking.
Yeah. Well, when I started, it was $9.99 an hour, which was
Leslie says she makes nothing on her TFSA.
Yeah, I don't know what a TFSA
is.
is.
See, we didn't really do much investing because we had nothing to invest. We invested it in clothes and food and housing for our family, gas for the cars.
Yeah, it is funny to us just because to go with no house and all this stuff. I mean, we had 2 homes in Canada, but here now we own 2 houses and a lot, and they're paid for cash. Mm-hmm. But now it's just time to build our business. And
those taxes on those are a pittance. Oh, tax-free. That's right. I think my mom was talking about TFSAs after my dad died.
Tax-free savings account. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Costco Canada. So back to Costco Canada versus Mexico. You may not know this, but I cut the ribbon at the Vallarta Costco. I know how the Costco openings worked, so I made it happen. And but yeah, here in Mexico, anyways, this was the way it was, and it may have changed since then because Costco always is changing the way that their pay structure works. But in the day when I asked, this was Guadalajara before Costco opened up here, a salaried employee works 5.5 days or worked 5.5 days. And these guys were getting paid at the time 5,000 pesos a month. So 5,000 pesos a month now would be equivalent to $250. So obviously they're going to be getting paid more.
Yeah.
But in those days also, it was still part of the joint venture with Mega. Because when Costco opened up in Mexico, you could not have 100% foreign-owned corporation. Right. So Mega...
And that has changed.
That has changed.
We have
and Mega underwent a bankruptcy. So I'm hoping that Costco bought themselves out because it would have made sense at that point.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say, walking into Costco anywhere in the world,
it feels the same.
It feels like Costco. You know what I mean? Like, obviously the products are different and things, but most of the time, even the layout is the same. We love going to Costco's. We try to go to a Costco everywhere we visit. We try to hit a Costco.
It's true. I love the American
mostly
Costco's.
Out of curiosity. Sometimes mostly out of curiosity, because there's never anything that we need from Costco, except for when we go to the States. There's a few things that we like to buy. You know what's weird? Okay, I'm looking for dried ginger, like not powder, but like a candied ginger, for like digestive issues.
That'll be dried ginger.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And
does the same thing.
I know you guys do because we take you when you come here all the time.
The Puerto Rico Costco was
cool.
my favorite only because they have hamburgers at their food court.
Hamburgers and French fries, and they were delicious.
They really, really were good. And it's a cultural thing because they have different things in main markets.
Yeah. And here, I would say so far, our pizza here is the best.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Way better than Canada's. But then Canada has poutine. And I know it's not a true quality poutine, but it's a damn good poutine.
It is.
I've had much worse poutine.
It's a good way to add 30 pounds to your waistline very fast.
Well, yeah. There's
that and soda.
There's this thing called moderation too, which you have no idea.
I don't know what moderation is.
Ooh, I felt a muscle. Look at that.
That's funny. All right. So what can we tell these folks? Come on.
Well, today we are going to Ernesto's.
What? I don't know this.
Yes, with Luke and Randy. You're on a need-to-know basis.
Guys, when I tell you and you say, well, what are you doing, blah, 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 I'm like, you have to talk to Christie because I have no idea. I really have no idea.
Yeah. And Robin, yes, thank you. John just reminded me that it's called La Abejita, so the little bee, because abejito is the.
I think it's a abeja.
Yeah, but abejita is the
little bee.
The little, like it's the.
When it ends in an ita or ita, it's always like the little version.
Yeah.
Like it's just a term of endearment. Also.
One little girl, when we were first down here, like we were literally, it was our very first place that we were living in. And I don't remember who these people were, but I know the mom spoke English. And this little girl is saying goodbye to me, adios, amiguita. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. And she was just like probably Taylor's age. Oh, Taylor was so cute last night. We went out with the family and there was a play place. And she's talking about all her friends, and she could learn their names. And I mean, it's so much fun to be almost 3.
It is. And the one girl had a doll, a big doll.
Mm-hmm. And Taylor loves dolls. So when I go to Texas, I'm going to go and I'm going to buy her a really nice doll for Christmas. That's what I'd like to do this year for Christmas. Will you be getting, or do you have copper pots? You know, I think about it. I have some copper cups that I want to clean because they are, well, they're patinaed and they're the same style and same color. I didn't notice that. Maybe I won't patina them. I'm going to clean them because these are not sealed. So these ones, when I clean them, they go that bright copper.
We have lots of copper in the house, just no pots and pans, and I don't know if we ever will. We don't
have lots of copper. We have bits of copper. The only thing I would consider doing is maybe getting a few to hang at the back just for decoration, but then they get all oily and dirty and dusty. Mule mugs, yes.
Yeah. I
bought them.
For coffee.
Well,
what do you think copper does to thermal energy?
I asked the guy if I could use it for coffee. I wasn't really thinking. I thought maybe, and then because they look thick, so I thought, well, maybe it's double walled and I can actually use it for coffee. Oh, hell no! I burnt my lip.
They're very good thermal conductors.
But they are beautiful. I mean, I love the style. Like they're just pretty, and
so I don't think we're getting any copper. We don't really cook a lot. We love cast iron. Cast iron.
Why do you keep saying we don't cook a lot?
Like not enough. Like you don't do and all that stuff. You don't do
pretty
that.
Cooking.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Well, but if we did get copper, it would probably be just for decoration. They keep cold drinks so nice and cold. You know what? It's hard to find down here though. Ginger beer. Isn't that ridiculous? To make the Moscow meals.
But we can make ginger beer. That's easy enough to make.
Well, a non-alcoholic ginger beer.
No, you can make an alcoholic ginger beer.
Really? How?
Just need yeast and fermentation.
Oh, I'm not making beer. That's ridiculous.
What do you think it is? I mean, it's a ginger beer.
I know, but that's why you buy it.
Not if you can't find it.
I think didn't Shay buy a unsweetened ginger beer for you to try?
I don't know. But an unsweetened anything.
I have tons of cast iron. How does it keep down there? I also have copper pots. Well, let me show you.
Well, the cast iron really works. I mean, you just have to oil it, right? You just have to season it, I believe is what
I
it's
have
called.
two different kinds here.
Yeah, but we also have the kind that goes in the oven and all that kind of stuff.
This is actual Lodge brand.
Which one?
Bought it when we went to Arizona and we were driving because they're really heavy. Typically what I do, and this one was just washed last night and not oiled, but I just put a tiny little bit of oil and rub it in. I don't have any issues. Every once in a while, if I do find it's getting rusty, I'll just give it a really good scrub. And then you put a generous amount of oil and then you flip them upside down and you put them in the oven. And it's nice that it's a gas oven, so it's a flame, and it reseals them, which is what we recently did with this one. And look at that. And things, yeah, they stick a little bit when you're cooking, but they come off really easy. So and this one, yeah, this one is an unknown. I don't know. I think I bought it here. I think this is one I bought here. But I have cast iron. I also have a cast iron
Dutch oven.
Dutch oven, like a big black roaster. And
yeah, cast iron cooks beautifully in the oven. It just is so stunning.
My burner covers on my stove
They're all cast
are
iron.
cast iron.
Yeah.
And I also have a griddle that is cast iron that oftentimes I will put in my oven, and I'll do like if John and I are home and we're just want a quick steak, I'll do that. So I'll stick it in. I have a flat side and then it's got a ridge side. I'll stick it ridge side up with a little bit of oil, and I'll stick it in my oven and get it really hot, and then I'll sear our steaks.
So Jeff says Costco sells non-alcoholic beer in Canada. That's like non-caffeinated coffee. It's like, why? It's just it's liquid bread with no alcohol.
Yeah, I got my curls in. Yeah, those are cast iron. Obviously, is non-alcoholic ginger beer.
Gotcha.
But then if you're gonna mix it with vodka, what's the use? Let's be real. Wondered about the Saltaire. Yeah, you just have to keep it ironed,
oiled. Now, if you were to use soapy water and just take that off, it's gonna iron. It's gonna rust.
Sheila, there is a store used to be a store. I don't know if it is still there, but there used to be a store in La Piñita that I was buying them. I think it's cast iron is becoming a little easier to find down here. I bought the kids' cast iron pots in Costco. Had them one time or twice. They had them a couple times. And I've seen them on the very rare occasion at Chedraui. I bought a little one at Chedraui, that little tiny.
Oh, the egg. But we don't have it anymore, do we?
They're still there. We have 4. We have 2 big ones, those 2 big ones. So I have the real big one, then a little bit smaller, and then a fairly bit small, and then one that does like a couple of eggs.
Those ones are fun. I like those.
Yeah. So
our oven though is way too big. Our stove. Because we have commercial size. We need one that's not commercial. We really need to find a place. And apparently there's an attachment you can get to turn it into a small one.
So take the big burner and make it a small burner. I don't know what the difference would be though, really, because it's not that it doesn't sit.
If it's a small thing, the flame goes around.
And then it cooks faster. Just keep the flame low. It works. I've done it. I have done it.
I don't know.
So I have seen them here on occasion. I don't see them on a regular basis, like you go to any other store in Canada. I think even Mega had them for a little while.
When are we going to do chicken wings next?
We have to buy them. They didn't have them last time I went in.
Yeah, that place sucks.
I'm a little mad at Comnor.
Comnor sucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, they screwed us over with the chicken wings. They sold us that box of gamey, crappy, frozen brick of disgusting chicken wings that they sold to everybody. Because we have friends. Yeah. Same deal. Like, yeah, and if you touched it, your hands were disgusting. Yeah, the same one.
So they gave us a credit. So I went in to redeem it. I went once, they were closed. Went another time. Oh, yeah. So they tell me to go around the side to wait. And then he calls me back in. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have any chicken wings.
They suck.
So.
And it's right across from our accountant's office. So, I mean, the nice thing is.
But it's not like I go to the accountant that often. I don't have to meet him face to face very often. Anyways, I will keep looking and I will get some chicken wings and we'll make some.
So one thing that makes me sad is that our kids will not be able to have the yucca. Like Shay and Matt won't be able to have the yucca before they leave because they leave this week.
They leave on Friday.
So it sucks because I really wanted to have the yucca with them here. Same as they didn't have any bananas while they were here. It was just kind of like this off season. And when the fruit comes,
There were no bananas at all the whole 6 months?
Zero.
Weird.
It is weird. But I think the fact that they're watering stuff makes stuff grow better.
And you're not fertilizing, so maybe
That's true. But I did find
problem.
fertilizer from a company, I think in Colima. No, in Sonora. So they're going to be sending me an excellent fertilizer for hydroponics. So I'm going to start putting stuff on all of our property.
Yes.
Fruit. I don't know what the hell I was going to say. My brain had a fart. Right?
So, on that note,
I think we're done. I think we will be back tomorrow on Wednesday. What's going on Wednesday?
Well, tomorrow the kids and my mom have to get their tests, and you want to do photos. So we will probably do a live from somewhere in Vallarta
Guys,
tomorrow.
our new website is so dang pretty, so amazing.
It's getting there.
I can't wait to show you. Maybe I should share a little bit so you guys can go in and say, hey, we like this, don't like this, that kind of stuff. It's very good. I love this website. All right, guys, we will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be remote. It won't be here in our beautiful kitchen. It'll be somewhere in Vallarta, but we will chat with you all.
Maybe we can show the beach then.
Nope, not at 10. It's too early. I think their appointment's right at 10.